Tom Riak, promoting successful business experts, connecting people throughout the world from my podcast studio in Brazil. Joining us today from Orlando, Florida, Sheila Butler, Chief Marketing Officer at Butler Marketing Group, marketing consultant, personal branding expert, and speaker. Sheila, what are your top 3 tips for personal branding?
Well, so there are many elements within branding. I start with the functional and the rational, right? What do you do? Why does someone care about what you do? What are your core skills and your superpowers, right? And I think through what are the 4 things that make you, you. That's really what I call your brand identity or your brand pillars. And then it's really important to be crystal clear on your personality and your brand promise. At the end of the day, when someone engages with you as your personal brand, what are you truly promising? I use all those foundational things to then create the elevator pitch. And I don't know about you, but when I've talked with people and you go, okay, well, tell me about you. I want an elevator pitch, 10 seconds or less, crisp, clear, done, right? I don't know how long the elevators are that some people take in their lifetime, but they just start with I was born in, and I started my career in. And that's a really long elevator ride. It's 10 seconds or less, crisp and clear, right? So when I think about personal branding and the 3 tips, 1, know what your brand promise is and what your point of difference is. Know your elevator pitch and have it super crisp and clear. And then be consistent. Say it over and over and over again in the same way. It takes so many times to see those brand points to what you want to be known for. So you've got to be consistent. You can't just change it up every single time.
No, I agree with you. I think the 3rd is probably more important than, not the other 2 aren't, but it's consistency. It's practice. It's like anything. The more we practice what we say, the faster it comes out.
Yes, right. Exactly.
And the next time you say it, then you would say, like we mentioned, I should have said this, then say it the next time.
Right.
So, and it could vary because lots of different people come into the elevator.
Well, so yes, and so that gets into target audience, right? So you as your personal brand may have, you have different facets within your life. You may have a few different target audiences, and the core identity, your superpowers, and your brand promise is going to be the same, but how you explain that in your elevator pitch may be slightly different because of that target audience. You have to know that too. And you got to say it out loud. You can't just have it on a piece of paper. You got to what you were saying. You have to be able to let it flow very naturally, which means you have to say it out loud. You've got to practice.
And practice and makes it perfect. And I've learned that from pitching, that we start off a little bit huffy and puffy, but it is the practice that helps you become more objective. In today's world's objectivity.
Right.
Nobody has time. Everybody, the highest value commodity today is time.
Yes.
And people don't want to share that.
Absolutely. And I think that a brand, at least when I do branding work with people, it needs to stand at least for 3 years, right? Again, that consistency and so forth. So as I work with clients and I go through my Butler branding bootcamp process where I really kind of unearth from you your brand, right? And then write the marketing narratives around that, to which you have the elevator pitch and you've got your LinkedIn profile updated and you've got, a new way to write cover letters for job interviews and things like that. But it needs to be able to stand for a good 3 years because you've got to see that consistency. So you build it for not only where you are today, but where you want to take your brand.
Right. And to that, how do you handle and you work with individuals, with companies, with groups? How is it?
All of it. It's funny. I started this process 20 years ago, and originally I was working with different companies. And then someone came to me and said, hey, I'm starting a nonprofit. Can you help me? Yes. Same process, right? It works the same for everyone.
Right.
And then more recently, what I found is, especially as people are in an inflection point within their life or career, right? They want to transition to something else. I've had more people come to me for personal branding. And again, it's the same process. At the end of the day, a brand is a brand is a brand. It works the same. And it's really been so incredibly gratifying. I had no idea when I started this 20 years ago. And I learned a lot of my branding work at Disney. And then I fine-tuned it over time at JP Morgan Chase and Choice Hotels. And I had no idea it was going to catch fire like this in the past year and a half. It's been amazing.
And you've created your own brand. You are the brand. So Butler Marketing Group is the brand. You are the person.
Right. Yeah. And when I think about my brand promise for my company, I create marketing that leaves a legacy for small, medium, and large companies at a fraction of the cost because I'm in part of fractional CMO. That's it. That's your 10 seconds.
Well, as a fractional CMO, then you do that. I don't call it part-time, but it is the time needed to help persons or companies transition.
Yeah. So it may be a 6-month gig. It may be a 9-month gig. It's, it's part-time during the week and it's, set objectives. Do you need marketing strategy? Do you need a customer journey roadmap? Like, thought leadership strategy? What is it that you need to accomplish? Upskill your team. It could be that, right? So yeah, fractional CMO is a percentage of my time.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Well, how can all of our listeners find you?
Oh my goodness. They can find me at Sheila at butlermg.com or look up Sheila Butler on LinkedIn.
Very good. Well, thanks for being here and sharing.
It's great to meet you, Tom. Thank you so much. It's been an honor.
And again, for our listeners, it's Sheila Butler, S-H-E-I-L-A, the last name B-U-T-L-E-R. You find her at butlermg.com, and you also find her as Sheila Butler on LinkedIn. Cafe Networking is brought to us by Focus MI Market Intelligence, an agricultural market research specialist in Brazil. More information at their site, focusmi.com. Thanks for listening to the Cafe Networking Podcast. Talk to Tom, talk to the world.